is 4:35 p.m. on July 5th, 2022, a Tuesday. I call this Fitchburg Cultural Council PR Subcommittee meeting to order. All right, I guess I will pull up the agenda, share screen. Please don't mind my billion tabs. Actually, that's embarrassing, so I'm gonna pull it out. All right. So first thing on the agenda is the community input meeting, which is officially on Thursday, July 21st, at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Fitchburg Art Museum. Things that I asked people to think about. So what do you guys think about the setup that I sent Rebecca? Do you think there should be any adjustments?
It looked fine to me. Will we be bringing, snacks, or how is that happening?
We did, I think we approved what was it, like a $250 budget for the event and for public input surveys in general. Is that right, Liz?
Yes, that's my recollection, and the cost of the museum itself is $120.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about $130 for food if we need to use that much. I would suggest, if we were going to bring food, that we have it made somewhere, instead of us bringing in things from the grocery store.
Yeah.
But so it's, from what I understand, I wasn't at the last meeting, but we had pizza the previous year.
Oh,
Or
that
was
was
it-
like in 2019.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
brought desserts that time. I think, each of us, or some of us did anyway.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to bring something if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, it's always helpful, I think, to have a little bit of food there to get people to attend if they have if this is interfering with their dinner time. Plus, sometimes food just gets people.
Yeah, I think people just always like free food.
Yeah.
Oh, entice
I
them
think didn't the FAM sell sodas that time?
Yeah, I don't know what the situation is now, because it used to be Jesse that would always
It used to be
handle that.
Jesse.
And so I don't know if they have figured that out yet while they're in this transition period.
Well, if it's a way for them to make money, I mean, I don't really know the background of it. I don't mind asking their president or what is
Director. Well, they're
well, who should I ask there?
Rebecca Wright is
okay.
Is it Liz? Do you know her specific title?
I know Rebecca.
Yeah,
It's something grant coordinator, grant administrator, something like that.
Oh, I thought it was like director.
Oh,
she might be. I knew she writes all the grants. So I just
well, I know the name, so I
can.
can just look her up, but she seems to be the one, she does seem to be the one that runs things. So I don't mind giving her a call and seeing, what they would do. I mean, if it's a pain for them, we won't ask them to do it, but if they can make money on it, why not?
Right, yeah. I guess if FAM doesn't have drinks to sell, we could just pick up sodas and drinks or something like that, right?
Case of water or something.
Yes. Well, why don't I talk with her and see what she thinks? And then we can just put the word out and see who wants to bring things. I mean, you don't have to make them. You could just bring cookies or something, or chips or whatever you want to do. A cheese board. So-
Eileen, would you be interested in taking charge of food and refreshments? Like just
Sure.
at least like delegating that?
I'll be the hostess.
Appreciate it.
Sure. That will
Um,
save us a little money too, if we don't have to put that out on food.
Yeah. Okay.
What's
And
Jessie doing, by the way? She isn't leaving town, is she?
no, she's certainly not. She is the president of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance now.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
She's
So-
great, Jessie.
Yes, Jessie is great. So she'll still, as far as I know, she is staying on the council. Yeah, Fitchburg Cultural Alliance is putting together Main Street Studios, which I believe they just signed their lease.
Okay.
I think it's okay for me to say that. Hopefully
Yeah.
officially.
They have
Oh,
the
well, that's good to
keys.
hear. That's good news. I was worried.
Yeah, so they'll be at Affordable Art Studios.
Okay,
Is what they'll be hosting. So it's very
okay,
exciting.
great.
Liz, before I forget, have you figured out with Rebecca about sending her the $120 staffing fee?
She sent me an invoice and it's sitting in an envelope. It needs to go to the mayor's office to process, but the clerk is, or not the clerk, the mayor's assistant is on vacation this week, so she won't process it until next week. But
But you're
I
taking
don't think
care of
that's-
it. You got it.
yeah, I don't think it's a problem. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I was gonna ask Matt about new name tags. I'll just quickly screen share.
Just a thought about the name
Yeah.
tags.
Go ahead.
I've been keeping mine in my purse to use when I need it, and
Mhm.
the letters have about rubbed off.
Mine too.
And I suppose we probably need a new logo there anyway, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna ask what you guys thought.
I think that we just need to have the new logo, like just like these backgrounds, like something like this that's just can be printed on clear label, and then
Yeah.
that can go onto name tags. Right?
Oh, that looks nice. Yes.
Yeah. So is
Yeah.
that
Or-
something that could be printed out as a like a clear with a clear background?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that's
think that would
what
be
they did
perfect.
last time. Obviously. And I figured that maybe it would be easier just to make everyone's like title as council member that way. If positions change around, we don't have to be like, oh, now I gotta get a new, like we have to do a new
Yeah.
one now.
That's smart.
Yeah. All right. So no suggestions. This looks good.
I'm a little confused on what the Mass Cultural Council wants us to have on our information. I thought they wanted us to have the MCC logo, like their official logo somewhere. But is that sort of the way it used to be, but now they don't want that anymore, or?
Yeah. So they have, I think what they want is for when grants recipients promote their programs, that it has
Mhm.
it has the words, this program is supported by a grant by the Fitchburg Cultural Council, a local agency, which is part of supported by the Mass Cultural Council, a state agency, something like that. And they want the
Mhm.
Mass Cultural Council logo in their like sponsors or like, promoted on there.
Okay.
But they did not want us, our old logo, they felt that it was like altering theirs, in which I think we thought that it made it look like that we were still, we were
Part of
reflecting the Mass Cultural Council,
Yeah.
but I guess they wanted us to be, wanted there to be a little bit more separation. Not all cultural
Okay.
councils even use the words cultural council as their title.
Okay. All right.
So
I
I guess it was
understand
a little
that.
bit more up to us, I guess. So yeah, that's why we changed our logo. Okay, so I'll send that to Matt and hopefully he'll be able to get us new name tags. If not, it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice. Oh, Rebecca asked me, how many chairs do we need?
I would
She-
imagine.
How many chairs?
Yeah,
Whatever that we had before, I guess.
Right. 20,
Yeah.
25.
she said that in the picture, she thought it looked like that there were 48 chairs. And I said, I don't know.
That sounds right. That sounds
Oh.
right.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm. Let's do.
Mm.
What else? All right, I can make like a quick flyer. Do we want to, does anyone want to distribute flyers around town? Does anyone have the time to do that?
For what, the
Suppose
input
that's-
meeting?
Depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't know where to distribute them. If someone would give me a list, I'd go around and distribute them, but I took them around to places I thought about the last time and they didn't even have flyers anymore.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Do you think they do a good?
I mean, I always put it in the bulletin board on Mill Street in Maine. And then also there's the public library. But yeah,
Mhm.
grocery
Those are good
stores like
places, yeah.
sometimes do and sometimes don't.
I think I had been given a couple restaurants or something like that, and I think that was a lost cause.
mm,
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe
Yeah.
a flyer that's really made for like Facebook and Instagram to like post
Yeah,
on social media,
yeah.
post to the
Yeah.
various art groups and community groups.
Do mostly
Um,
virtual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can ask, I know the community development department is about to do its newsletter. I can ask if we could add that to our newsletter. That actually deadline for getting things in is tomorrow, end of day tomorrow.
Ah,
That's a good thought.
So we would probably want to, you'd have to
Um,
get a flyer together pretty quickly.
I could try to. Is a flyer good or would a write-up be better?
Oh, you know, a little write-up. I mean, it's always nice to have something visual to look at. I don't know if you have a photo of a previous community input meeting.
I mean, I could use
but
the
just a
photo
little,
that I I had in that email, because that like
Okay,
shows what it will be somewhat like.
yeah, a little blur. Oh yeah, that's good. That's actually a good photo. Yeah. So like a blurb, just about the meeting, and that photo would be probably be perfect.
Okay, I can
Don't show
send you
them the
that.
pizza, though.
I won't. Yeah, I think yeah, I was wondering like, should we do pizza? But I was also like, well, it's gonna end at 6:30, so it's not like completely during, like one could eat afterwards, but I think like appetizers and stuff are good. Unless you guys think
Yeah.
that the pizzas.
Yeah, that's what I think. Appetizers, dips,
Yeah,
cheese and
you
crackers,
could,
stuff like that.
Odell's.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably find like a nice one of those like cheese trays
Yeah.
at a grocery store even that doesn't really
Yeah.
require any making, but yeah, finger foods.
Water is important.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, I can put together, it's probably gonna be a square flyer. That way, makes it easy that I can post on Instagram and on Facebook. And
Mm.
Eileen, would you be able to put together a press release?
Sure.
Great. And are we calling this public input meeting, or does that sound too dry?
We can call it a public input meeting. The press release will explain better what it is.
Mm.
How many do people have been collecting these things over time now. Does anybody have any idea how many we've gotten in so far?
Let me pull it up. I think
If it-
last I saw there was at least 30, and then I know that Shara and Casey did some surveying in at the Civic Days block party.
Yeah,
I tried to survey during the parade, but then I don't know, I got there kind of late and I knew that like people would want to fill out surveys. So
okay. Is there a deadline if this press release goes out? Is there a deadline for input? Or actually, they can do it at the meeting, right? Or can they?
they can do it at the meeting. I'm gonna pull up this. I'm saying that the deadline for the surveys is August 10th. That way, it's a little bit after the meeting, but also before our meeting where we're deciding
Okay.
on
Yeah.
um
That makes sense.
what it will be. And people can drop it off at the red mailbox outside of City Hall, or they can just fill it out online.
Okay, there's a lot of good information on that. If you could email that to me,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what I'm going to write in the press release. So can
Liz,
you do that?
Yeah,
Pardon?
sure.
Okay, all right.
I can do that. Liz, do you think I should just send you this as the flyer for the
Yeah, that would work. And the
I
photo.
think it looks
and-
great.
yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you wanted the photo.
Yeah.
I'll figure out how to put that in there. Okay, great.
And do we want to mention like that, public input, but also an opportunity to ask questions about the next round of grant funding?
Yes,
So that way maybe we'd get folks that are thinking about applying but don't really know the parameters. That would be a good place for them to get their questions answered early.
that's a good idea. I'll put that in the press release.
I think that's good.
Who will be, I guess Tamar will be officiating, right?
I'm hoping she will be. I haven't gotten a chance to officially ask her. I was trying to, but she was going on vacation and she was very busy, so I didn't want to burden her. But I'm hoping that she's already got that on her mind, because I know that in previous years, she did the last one, and like when Joe was the chair, he always did it too. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping. Liz and I were talking that it would be good for her to do a presentation on just like the Fitchburg Cultural Council in general, like what we do. And then also like have another presentation of like what grant applications are eligible, like who can be eligible. I think it might be a good way to kick off the public input questions to make sure that to help like guide the questions, in which people aren't suggesting things that aren't actually unfortunately possible with her. So like that way everyone kind of knows the parameters. And I'll talk to Tamar to see if she would be able to include that. Otherwise, I guess I could. I'm not the best public speaker, but I could do my best. Unless either one of you wanted to.
no, that's okay. You do a good job.
If we had something for me to kind of work off of, I could do something if I needed to. I just don't want to make it up off the top of my head.
All right.
But like if there was a PowerPoint that had bullets or a cheat sheet that I could look at.
Okay. So Liz, maybe you and I could work together on that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else that we
Back
should talk about?
back to what we call the meeting. A community input meeting is one thing. It's kind of cold because there's so much more information about this. How about a meet and greet, an informational meet and greet?
But that might be like confusing with our creatives meet
Yeah.
and greets, like the networking event. This is more about feedback.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that,
All right.
what if it was like the Fitchburg Cultural Council's, or like presents, maybe the community arts and culture,
Arts and
I'm
culture
thinking out
public
loud here, like
input
arts,
meeting?
yeah, arts and culture, public input and info, I don't know, something.
It's a lot.
It is, that's a lot. I don't know how to boil that down, but you know, like the whole arts and culture piece, like kind of, that is a nicer way, I think, of, or it's a good way to convey sort of what we do or what our focus is. And we do want to make sure that we're somehow conveying that you have an opportunity to provide input or feedback, but also can ask questions and get information. So
Yeah, the other thing is, I don't think we want to make it so you feel as though you have to be an artist to come. I
right.
think we're really,
Yeah.
you know, I'm delighted when we get people who, you know, who aren't, but go to these events, you know, and may not be artists themselves. So, well, maybe input meeting is it. I guess it's as good as anything. Fitchburg Cultural
Yeah.
Council lets it all hang out.
Well, let's
I think
workshop that
that
for
could
a
be our
minute.
tagline. Past we've gone with public input meeting and community input event.
Yeah, well,
It does say Fitchburg Cultural Council on top, so there's like the
Yeah.
culture in there.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. All right, well,
Uh,
let's think about it and I'll get a press release
Yeah.
out next week, probably. This week's crazy. If that's okay.
okay. I
Okay.
think so. For now we'll just continue calling a public input meeting.
Yeah, Fitchburg
Hmm.
Cultural Council
Right.
public input meeting.
If any of us have a thought about like a nice name, a better name to call it, we'll just let Eileen know.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay. Anything else on that?
Mm.
Oh, do we want to do the sticky note boards again? Oh, so Liz, you weren't there in the past. What we've done is to have like an interactive activity elements, is that we would have like a poster board that would have a question on it, like something like, what's your favorite Fitchburg event or something like that. And then we would have a bunch of sticky notes and Sharpies, and people could just write on it like the block party and like stick that on there.
I think that's great. I really like that kind of engagement where it's asking people to engage, but not asking them to like write a paragraph, you know, or think too hard. You know, we want to get their input, but we don't want to have them ask them something that's going to take 20 minutes for them to think about before they can answer.
That makes sense. Rebecca asked, where would we want those easels and sticky note boards?
Do they provide them, or are we going to provide them?
We would provide them. I think I think Tamar has a few easels.
Okay.
Yeah. She wanted to know the layout. I was like, I don't know. You're all
Yeah. Well, does the room, I mean, if I assume we're using the big kind of main room behind the reception area. If we have enough space,
that's where we met the last time.
Yeah, that's the room that they often use for public input, or for community meetings.
Forums, yeah.
But
so there's plenty of room along the sides, you know.
Yeah,
people sit in the
I'd rather
chair
keep everything in that room versus kind of spread out between multiple rooms. So if there is a way that we can keep it along the side or in the back or whatever, that'd be good.
Maybe we could also just like have them like set it up, and then anything that we want to change around. we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We'll probably have to get there early just to make sure things, where the food goes, where this goes, where that goes,
Yeah. How
so-
early can you guys get there? It starts at 5:30.
Well,
My
I
work
can
day
get
ends
there
at
any,
4:30.
yeah, I could be there at 4:30.
Okay, yeah, I could probably be there 4:30 or 4 o'clock or something like that.
Is Jessie
I'll ask
coming?
how early we can come. Yeah, she should be coming.
Okay, good.
She
Well,
said
she'll
that
be
she
a
was
big help,
available.
'cause she'll know how everything works. So
Mhm.
maybe she
That's
can
true,
get-
yeah. She'll be like,
Yeah.
no, let's go here and here. We're like, great,
right.
thank you, Jessie.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, great. I think those are does anyone else have anything else to say about the community input, the public input meeting? Should we use the word forum? Is that nice?
Hmm?
Arts and culture
I
and
like
Fitchburg
forum.
forum. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fitchburg
I don't
forum.
think we should go so much about arts and culture, community events, community
Mhm.
cultural events, because I don't want people to think it's just for artists. I
Yeah.
mean, anybody who wants to come and say something about community cultural events
Mhm.
should be able to come.
Community culture. I don't know. I don't have a
Well,
good
let's think
nice
about it
one, but
another
yeah, I
time.
think
And I
Yeah.
don't want to kill
that's
the
the right
meeting
idea.
doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing on the agenda is Fitchburg Open Studios. We have extended the
Mhm.
deadline. It's officially been announced to
Yep.
July 15th.
How's
Everyone,
Tamar
And-
doing with entrance or participants?
Last so I have a count right here because the payments have been mostly coming in by mail. I mean, excuse me, electronically or coming into the city by mail. So it looks like we have 18, 19, I think. 19 signups. So she said last year we had over 30. Part of the reason we're extending the deadline, I did just also reach out by email to all of the muralists that just completed the murals in downtown Fitchburg, because many of them have other types of works, and they might be willing to pop up or be interested in popping up in downtown.
I've got
So
5 of them at the Rollstone Church. That's about
you do?
Yeah, yes. Well, they're through Tamar. It's not on my own.
Oh, I
Um,
see. I see. She's already assigned folks
Yeah,
to
and
you.
that's
Okay.
about. We're also going to look. We're also going to have a concert at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2:30 by
Mhm.
Noel Pluff. I understand that it costs $50 to get your name and everything in the. So I was going to send you the $50, Liz. I didn't want to. Noel's a poor starving artist, but I'd like to see him and our church, get in the. Whatever they're putting out, the map and
Yeah.
the flyer.
So
is he playing on both days, Saturday and Sunday, or just that?
No, just Sunday, just Sunday.
Sunday? That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And you
so
might-
too.
You might want to talk to Tamar directly about that.
I did. I already
Unless you
have.
you already have. Okay.
I already
All right.
have. And she said, I told her, and she said it was fine, but he had to pay $50. But what? Usually we have to pay him $50. But anyway, I didn't want to tell him that. So I'll send him the $50. I just want to make sure he gets his thing in. So I'm not sending $50 in for nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, the $50 goes to getting your name, your studio on the map, and
Yes.
getting listed on the map. So that's what.
So
people get for
Noel's
that.
in the same category, I guess, even though he's an entertainer.
Yeah.
You
So
might
we'll-
need to fill out the form for it, so
Yeah.
that Tamar knows what to write.
I sent him the form. I'll ask him again. I want to make sure he sends in the form.
Right.
I would certainly think he'd want to.
More promotion.
More promotion for him, yeah. Mm.
Anything else? Yeah, everyone reach out to your local artist friends or local artists that you know. So is it being expanded to musical performances as well? I know last year we had some recording studios that were part of it. I've always been like, are we doing it? Are we not?
I don't know. I guess it's up to Tamar, but I think musical performances are a good idea.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't
mean,
see, we don't have, as far as I know, we don't have Zenden or Grizz Gang signed up, but I did email Merrick. I don't have Grizz Gang's email address. So I couldn't email them, but I did reach out to Zenden. So hopefully they'll be interested in signing up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and apparently there's also another recording studio like on Kimball Road, I think, or something like that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Neat.
But yeah, that would be a nice highlight of just like, oh, I didn't know there were all these cool recording studios here. And then I also reached out to Anne from Fitchburg Access Television. I was like, if you guys have staff members, like, would you guys want to be part of Fitchburg Open Studios? You could do a tour. And so yeah,
for FATV?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
I guess why not, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we, you know, I wonder if are we reaching the schools in our, with our posters and things like that? I'll tell you why I was thinking about this. One of my friends was telling me that her granddaughter wanted to be an artist, but she's in high school now and she's not really sure, you know, what kind of life she would have. And I said, well, heck, you know, put it on your calendar, February 25th, Sunday, come to Rollstone Church. I'm going to have 5 lady artists there and she can talk to all of them and find out what kind of a life it is. So, but there is that kind of thing around. You know, but I honestly don't know how to get in touch with those people. Do we have lists of, I don't know, music teachers or the music department at the college, the university, or?
I think if we were trying to reach like the professors and the teachers of music and art, we could probably find their names from the web pages, like the school department and FSU. But are you talking about to talk to them and their students about attending open studios? Or are you thinking about them having an open studio?
No, I was thinking about them attending the open studio. I mean, it's going on. To me, for young people who are thinking about, you know, becoming artists, it's an excellent opportunity to talk with working artists. I hadn't thought about it before till my girlfriend was telling me how concerned she was about her granddaughter. She didn't think her granddaughter should go into art. She thought it was I said, oh, come on. You know, it's a great profession and it's, you know, so, but I think there's that going around. So it'd be nice to be able to use this also to talk to young people about a career in art.
Yeah, I think it would be good if like in like September to send out an email to the teachers. And maybe we could put out attach like a flyer and be like, could you send these to your students or tell your students about it?
Well, you know, something like that, or maybe just if we had emails of people in arts, you know, who are teachers, it might be good to send them an email, maybe over Tamar's name, talking about encouraging their students to go to this. I mean, it's free, right?
Yeah.
It's Saturday and Sunday. Why not?
Maybe they can get extra credit for attending.
Well, I'm not going to push them. I'd be just happy if they mentioned it and said, here, let me tell you about this.
Right.
I'd be happy to write the email if Tamar wanted to send it out. Well, maybe this is something for the next full meeting. Maybe we could put that on the agenda for the next full meeting. You know.
Yeah.
Using FOS to encourage art students.
Yeah. Right.
No, I like that.
Well, it would probably be a good time for us to start talking about PR for the actual open studios. Right now, we're still focused on getting artists signed up to
Yeah.
have a good open
True.
studios.
True. Probably we
Um,
wouldn't do this till September when we were closer to, and actually when people are back at school.
Yeah, but we can start planning
True.
for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys
and
have any
actually,
ideas?
In mind.
we should also think about the fact that Main Street Studios might be open in September. And
Yeah.
if they couldn't sign up now knowing who the artists are, but they could sign up
They can set up the
kind of as
location
the
as a group.
studio. Yeah. So
They
maybe
might
we
have an
should reach
open
out to them.
house.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
But it would
they
be
want
good to have
be
them
open.
on the
Yeah.
tour.
I think
Yeah.
Jesse has that in mind. I think that is certainly a goal.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I was also thinking we should reach out to FSU because I know that they have an art gallery in the Hammond building.
Mm.
So whatever is on exhibition at that time, we could include it in the map.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mm.
Liz, did you have any ideas about public PR plans for the event?
Fitchburg Open Studios?
Yeah.
No.
Because you mentioned it.
I guess my point was like, that's a next month thing to think about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Cool. Anything else about Fitchburg Open Studios? Okay.
I think we're good for now on that. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So we have decided that the next creative meet and greet is going to be the Friday before Fitchburg Open Studios. Does anyone have any thoughts
What date is
about
that?
that? It will be, I want to say it's September 23rd. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Friday, September 23rd. And then Fitchburg Open Studios is Saturday, September 24th and Sunday, 25th.
Well, I guess we ought to see what's going on about that time, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there might be, I suppose, you know, I don't go to many of the bars, if any. So, although I think that's a good place to have them, actually. I think bars are, you know, I think it worked out pretty well at the River Styx. So maybe a nice, friendly, somewhat cultural bars. Anybody know another one?
And yeah, we have like Thirsty Robots.
Yeah. Thirsty Robot, or even Tacos and Tequilas does have a bar.
Mhm.
And they're on Main Street.
Is
Zapata
that
has a
that's
bar.
high end though, isn't it? Isn't tacos and tequilas? I think we want a cheap bar. Although I guess I have to tell you, it's been a long time since I've been at bars. I didn't realize how expensive they've gotten.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everywhere is expensive now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I won't butt
Well,
in.
not everywhere, but you're right. It's, you know, drinks are a little pricier than they used to be.
It'll also still be like somewhat warm out, so it's nice to do outdoors. I think last time we were talking about how Mill Street was really nice last year, but it's currently under construction, so
Oh, yes.
Right.
I don't want to promise that it's going to be
How about
there.
in September though? Don't you think it'll be finished by then?
I hope so.
It will be. It will
Maybe
be.
we can-
It will be, but we don't know if they're like what place might be serving alcohol that could be connected to Mill Street. So if we did like just coffee or something, non-alcoholic drinks, we could do Mill Street, but I wouldn't plan for an event like that with alcohol on Mill Street, because either the wine cellar has to be open, which they aren't yet, or Strong Style has to be open and serving alcohol again, which they aren't right now. So
I
Well,
think
why
they
don't
still have
we,
their lights.
just for the time, agree on
Mhm.
Mill Street and see what happens?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Liz, you're confident that Mill Street will be up and running?
Mill Street will, I'm not confident that there is going to, I'm confident that Mill Street will be up and running. I'm not
Yeah.
confident that there will be a place that will serve alcohol there. but I
Mhm.
think we do have potential right around there.
Yeah,
And maybe it's coffee, and I don't,
we could just say to be announced
yeah,
and like keep it in mind.
That's a good idea. So people
Yeah.
put it on their calendars.
Yeah,
right.
just
We
like
can
save
lock
the
it in
date.
next month.
Mm.
Yeah, because we'll want to at the public input meeting, we'll want to promote all the different things that we're doing. So it's at least we have the date.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll say like keep an eye on our social media.
Yeah.
And flyers. Okay.
Right. It might actually be able to be, if we're doing it in September, it might even be able to be Mill Street and Cushing Street. Cushing Street is that area that is blocked off right now.
Mhm.
But that's going to become a pedestrian plaza.
Oh, that'd be kind of
so-
cool.
So it's
Yeah.
really going to expand that sort of that area around that building.
Well, how
So-
do things ever work for outdoor bars? If a restaurant or, could open things outdoors, just for that night? Say one of the ones that's going to open, it would be a good, teaser for somebody who's going to open there.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
So
right
the
next to
problem
Publicity Plus.
is when you extend somebody's outdoor liquor license premise beyond what it normally is, there's a whole process that you have to go through with the license commission. So you
Mhm.
have to make that, you can't do that in a short period of time. You really need to give yourself like a good month and a half to get on the license board agenda. And kind of go through the building department has to look at the premise and, so it's a process. But there are, right now, like seasonally more and more restaurants and bars that are having like just always an outdoor seating area. So River Styx has one, Thirsty Robot has a nice outdoor seating area.
Boulder, the Boulder bar also has a courtyard, doesn't it? I haven't been.
In the back, yeah. So that's another
Is it big
option,
enough?
actually, the Boulder.
Yeah.
Between the indoors and the outdoors, I think it might be, but you know what? I haven't been inside since they did some reconfiguring. I think the booths aren't there anymore.
Oh, that's good. That probably opens up the space a lot.
Yeah. So for the note, should I add maybe or potentially the Boulder, which is in the
Yeah.
Upper Common?
As
Sure.
we're
I'm
thinking
sure
about
Monica-
it, brainstorming.
Yeah. And
Maybe
Monica
we
McNamara's-
better not name names so we're sure of what we're doing.
Well, we are
That is,
we are currently on record right now.
yeah,
But,
With the Boulder?
But we're
with
not,
all of it.
yeah,
Oh.
everything that we're talking about right now, it's all being streamed on FATV right now.
Well,
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's saying that we're officially having it
Yeah.
anywhere because we gotta obviously confirm with
The
venue.
venues. Yes.
maybe we could
our
just put
brains.
something in like, we're looking for somebody with cheap drinks.
But yeah, I feel like Monica would be down.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, well, for now we'll just say save the date or
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of the community, the public input meeting and promoting announcements, I know that we probably have to vote on it or something on whether or not we're doing winter bazaar again. And if so, how early would we want applications to open and when the deadline would be, because then we can promote that.
Yeah, for the winter bazaar. Yeah, I'd like to have a little more time than I did last year, so I would want to maybe get applications available in early October for an early December kind of thing, if not before then. But we should, talk about it in a meeting.
Yeah,
With the whole
just
group.
put that in your
about the winter
brain.
bazaar.
Yeah, think about that
Okay.
for our large council meeting so that we can include that in our announcements at the public input. How's the newsletter going?
So I think we talked about this at a previous meeting, but you might have come in late. The Cultural Alliance already does a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
newsletter. And when we were talking to Jesse about that, it just kind of made sense to not duplicate that effort. But I think the Cultural Alliance is going to start having like a Fitchburg
Have a
Cultural
little
Council like corner something, yeah. That'll highlight some of our activities. So
That's a
So-
good idea, I think.
yeah.
Does someone need to contact like Jennifer or Jesse of be like, please include this in your next newsletter, or because Jesse's like, already tapped in that.
Yeah, well, Tamar had asked me about something for the murals for their last newsletter. So I think Tamar may already be connected to that newsletter. I know their July newsletter is out because I just saw it on their webpage, but I didn't actually read the whole thing. I just
Well,
saw
maybe
that
we
they had a
should bring
July
it up
newsletter.
at the big meeting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we are no longer doing a newsletter. I will stop including that in our agendas. Do we have any surveying tabling opportunities? I don't even remember.
It does start to get tricky, I think, in the summertime.
Yeah, for
People's
sure.
vacations.
Tabling, flaring opportunities. Too. The last one that I have on here before August 10th is the Fitchburg Military Band at Cogswell Park on Sunday, August 7th. At the event starts at 2 p.m. to 3:30, but it would be good to come earlier than that. Is anyone available?
I think I'm actually going to be on vacation that week. I'm gone the week of August. What did you say it was 7th? Yeah, that's probably the day I'm getting back.
Oh yeah, I think, yeah, you said no last at the last meeting. Eileen, are you interested or available? I know I can't. At least I can't confirm. That's okay.
Do you know if we've gotten many online surveys completed?
Let me, I have to pull it up. I haven't been promoting it like heavily on social media. I have done a couple posts about it, but I could do more. It'll take me a moment to find that information. Or even figure out what was inputted manually and what was.
Oh, right, because you're adding those.
Yeah.
Mm.
Responses.
Well, it's not super important. I was just curious if we had many more than 30 with when we add the online surveys in.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten too many online. I have created a couple PSAs I've created a couple PSAs that are airing on FATV. I don't remember if I posted one of the PSAs on social media yet. And I also plan on sending slides to Nate for their digital, for the city hall digital bulletin board.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still need to do those things. And so, yeah.
All right.
All right. Does anyone else have anything else to say about tabling and surveying stuff?
think we've been very thorough this year and at least trying to get people to fill out a survey.
Yeah.
You know, even if we only had, the result is only 30, it wasn't for lack of effort. Actually, 30 seems like a lot.
Okay, so let's see here. To go over assignments that people said that they, or things that people volunteered to do. Eileen, you're gonna write a press release for the public input meeting / our public input survey.
I'm also going to head up refreshments and for the
food and drinks.
food and drink.
I will ask Matt to create new name tags for us. I will respond to Rebecca about answering her questions. I'll put together a flyer, or maybe I'll just send you just the one that I showed you guys.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, great. Makes it easy for me. I'll just send that to you, Liz. And I can send that to you too, Eileen. Maybe I'll add in that photo. And and I'll make a Facebook events. The sticky note boards. I guess we can ask Casey if she has any of the old ones still.
Yeah.
You just use that.
I know I own a sticky board, one of those giant Post-it notepads. If we need to use that, use a few sheets from that, we can.
Well, I think last time we used like foam core or something like that, and then people could take sticky notes and stick it on there. Oh, we'll have to buy new sticky notes because last time I bought a whole bunch of them, and turns out they were just loose sheets.
Oh no!
Just colorful neon square non-sticky notes by Sticky Note brand.
Yikes.
So rude.
So you were there with a pot of glue.
Yeah, I think someone was trying to tape it on and stuff.
Oh well.
Yeah, all right. So we'll have to buy new sticky notes. I can do that. And but I can take care of the sticky, I can take care of the board. You guys like the question, what's your favorite FCC funded event, or
What's your favorite cultural event, really?
Yeah.
They don't know what's FCC funded or not, you know.
That's true. Unless we made like a little board with like all the list of all the things, and people could like add like a
They could put
star
dots
on
next
it.
to it.
As a memory booster. Yeah.
But I think it'd be good to ask
More.
people, like, what would you like to see more of? Like kind of as a follow-up. So like, what's your favorite event you've seen so far? What would you like to see more of?
Yes.
More. I like that. Kind of events or programs. What's your favorite cultural event in Fitchburg? Well, I think that was everything, right? Upcoming events. As the flows. Let's see our FCC funded things that are happening. Oh, hopefully the Arts and Culture Directory of North Central Massachusetts by the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance will start being distributed on Friday, July 15th to coffee shops and locally everywhere, as well as online with their digital flip book, which is pretty fun because you just click a button and you can hear the page flipping. And you can literally click on live links. So when they like promote a certain artist with their website, you can click on that and it'll just pop up their website and how to contact them and stuff. Coggeshall summer concert should start happening. I have Sunday, July 17th. I'm not sure if this is updated or not, but keep an eye out for that. Hopefully Root and Verse Bonfire Bookshops workshop, where they will be walking around places like Coggeshall Park and Crocker Conservation, West Fitchburg Streamline Trail, Doyle Community Park, and I think there'll be a writing, or I don't know, it'll be some sort of workshop. So keep an eye out for that. And our public input meeting, Thursday, July 21st, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Fitchburg Art Museum. I think that's all the ones this month. Yeah, and we already had the block party, which was great. And also the Reading is Magic at the Fitchburg Public Library with Ed the Wizard. Does anyone else have any other announcements? All right, it is last call for anything else they want to mention about that was on the agenda. All right, it is 5:32 p.m. I call this meeting adjourned.